Hello, everyone, and welcome to week one. I'm very excited because I've been wanting to do this podcast for a while. As many of you, as I've said on other podcasts before, my name's Brady. For those that might be the first thing that's it's a running joke that I always forget to mute myself on there. Anyway, my name's Brady. Those of you that don't know me, my three loves are music. I'm actually wearing my choir T-shirt right now. So my three loves are music, sports, so football, and women, I guess, and Big Brother, and family, of course. Kareem the Dream, yes, Russell, and Ben. Hello, everyone. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of everything in these videos. So it's like, okay, well, is this more of like an NFL or is this more of like a fantasy football? I'm going to be doing both. So pretty much the way this show is going to work, as you'll see, I'll have an Excel sheet up. I'm going to go through. I'm going to give you guys my predictions for all of the games for week one of the season. These will be done on Saturdays. So the Thursday night games will have already been completed, so I will not be making predictions on Thursday night games, but I will do a Thursday night recap. So let's get started with there. Hello, Tan. So those of you that don't know, I am a Patriots fan. So Thursday night it was a little rough to watch because I was very conflicted because I also love fantasy football. And those that watched some of the fantasy football streams that I did, you'll know that two players that I absolutely love are Kareem Hunt and Tyreek Hill. And I took Tyreek Hill in almost all of my fantasy football leagues and Kareem Hunt in about three of them. So it was really tough because I had the Patriots defense in some of the leagues, and I also wanted to see Hill and Hunt do really well. So really, I wanted Hill and Hunt to both do well. So when Tyreek Hill got that, 75-yard touchdown catch, I was like, all right, this is great. And then Kareem Hunt gets the 78-yard touchdown catch as well, which in the Visoki Entertainment league, the opponent, let's just say I'm in a hole because he had Kareem Hunt. But who knows? I might still be able to win. But it was good to see those guys do it. But then I started getting a little nervous because the Patriots offense just did not look like themselves. They've got Amendola, who had to step in a much larger role because Edelman got hurt. So Edelman got hurt. Gronkowski was trying to just do too much. Tom Brady pretty much he was running out of options. I thought the Chiefs defense played really well. Patriots looked solid in the beginning. The first three drives Patriots had, it was fantastic. But Chiefs kept firing right back, and they have so many weapons on that offense. Robert asked, Brady, how are you holding up with the storm? It hasn't hit me yet. The storm has slowed down a lot. What really worries me for the state as a whole, I think I will be fine here. I live in a city called Altamont Springs, just outside Orlando. So you guys can look that up on a map or whatever. But I'm just outside Orlando, so I'll be all right. My dad lives in Tampa, so he's going to be in a little worse of situation. I think the biggest issue with Hurricane Irma, the storm we're referencing, is that it's only moving. Last I checked, it was only moving 9 miles an hour. A storm this big, and it's going to take a long time for it to go away completely. Even moving at 9 miles an hour, they're projecting it's not going to die until it's at like Tennessee. So we're going to have rain here for probably 3 or 4 days starting tomorrow. So I'm all ready for it. I'm here by myself. I don't have anyone coming over to hang out. Charlie and Rick are staying at their house. I'm staying at mine. So that's going to be the only thing is fighting the boredom. But while I have cell service, I will be tweeting out. You guys can tweet at me at Visoki Tweets. That's the official Visoki gaming. Ben says Brady or Garoppolo. Tom Brady. Until Tom Brady retires, I think that's where you go. Also, go blue. Yeah, I'm not big on college football, but did Michigan do well? I'm sure they did. But so anyway, let's go back to some football. So the Chiefs are just explosive. They've got Alex Smith, which people just never give. No, Jacob, I'm not evacuating. Trey says Tom Brady's garb. I thought Tom Brady did. I think he played all right. Alex Smith and the rest of the Chiefs offense just played out of their mind. And yeah, Jacob, I'm staying put, not evacuating. So So anyway, I hope I have power for football tomorrow. Yeah, I don't think we're getting power. Packers Seahawks. I will make all my predictions soon, but I want to talk about Thursday's game. So let me get through this first. So yeah, Chiefs have a lot of weapons. Alex Smith, very underrated. He's way more mobile than people always want to give him credit for. People forget that he was an option quarterback in college. And people think that Alex Smith, Jacob just said, people think he's going to lose his job to Patrick Mahomes. I don't think so. Yeah, Alex Smith, that is what Ben says. He tries to play too conservative sometimes. He took shots in this game. The Patriots defense was dinged up. Those that watched the full game, you'll know that Donta Hightower went down. Everyone thought it was going to be way worse than it was. It looks like he has a chance to play in week 2. If not, he should be back for week 3. He is the vocal leader of that offense. After he went down, Devin McCourty was the only consistent player on the defense. Stephon Gilmore is new. They have other injuries at the defensive end and linebacker position, and people just they're forced into much bigger roles than – and like Cassius Marsh was playing like his first game. It's just people just weren't ready to step up into those roles just yet, and the Chiefs were clicking on all cylinders. Alex Smith, Kareem Hunt, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, between the 4 of them, that's just very explosive, and Patriots just couldn't keep up. So you know what? It's a GG to the Chiefs. People that are freaking out about the Patriots season, stop. This happened in 2014. Chiefs beat up on the Patriots in Kansas City. And people thought that Tom Brady was done. They said they needed to start Garoppolo. Patriots ended up winning the Super Bowl that year. So I'd say, hit the brakes on the talk of Tom Brady early retirement and stuff. Jacob, yeah, the Patriots' run defense was terrible. It was simple things. The linebackers weren't covering they weren't covering the gaps that they should have, and just the holes were created. And Chiefs, we got to give them credit, guys. Their offensive line played lights out all night. Patriots can go 9-7. They would still win that division. I personally think the Dolphins aren't going to be as bad as a lot of people think they are. But did you see the stats? Every time Pats start 0-1 with Brady, they won the Super Bowl. Yeah, I saw that. Kind of funny. So, yeah, don't freak out. So let's get into predictions a little bit. If you guys are curious as to the order that I'm going to be going in, during these predictions, I'm going to be going off of NFL.com's predictions. I'm going to start with the actual predictions for the season, then we'll go into some fantasy football talk after predictions. So if you're not too big into predictions for NFL and you're just here for the fantasy football, by all means, you can skip ahead in the video unless you're watching live, and I guess you can just hang out with me. I also will not be able to see chat unless I click over to it like this. So let's start with Jets at the Bills. The Jets roster, top to bottom, is just not very good. We see the last 3 times they faced, the Jets won twice and the Bills won once, but the Jets have taken a big step back, in my opinion, and for that reason, oh Jesus. Yeah, that was cool, right? And for that reason, I think I'm going to take the Bills, but I think it's going to be a bit of a low-scoring affair. I think I'll take the Bills 17-13. I'm also keeping an Excel file for those that are interested in seeing what it looks like. This is what it's going to look like. So I'm going to take Bills 17-13. Jets, literal meaning of a butt fumble. Yeah. So the Jets have maybe the worst roster, top to bottom on paper, that we've seen in a while. Next game up is the Eagles at the Redskins. Now, I really like I really like Carson Wentz. The only issue is that second-year quarterbacks generally take a big step back. There are some exceptions to this, but I think that Kirk Cousins has been playing out of his mind the past couple years, and they've got some weapons. Eagles do have Alshon Jeffrey coming in, and he looks promising. But I think there are some question marks with LeGarrette Blount. I think there are some question marks with Jeffrey and how he's going to do. So I think the Redskins being together more, Pierre Garçon and company, along with Kirk Cousins. I think Redskins are going to take this game. Why does it say Redskins 17-13? Oh, look at this. No, I don't want to take every game 17-13, computer. No, thank you. I'm going to take Redskins 24-17. Moving on to the Raiders at the Titans. And by all means, people in chat, yeah, just put your prediction. Who's better, Chiefs or Raiders, Robert says. I would have to say right now the Chiefs, because I trust Alex Smith more than Derek Carr. But they're both very good rosters. I expect them to both be playoff teams. I got Redskins. I think Kirk will turn heads this week. Sorry, Garcon's on the 49ers. Who am I thinking? Redskins got the Jamison Crowder. I don't know why I was thinking Pierre Garcon. Yeah, Jamison Crowder. Thank you for that correction, Flamer. Jacob says that he believes that the Raiders are better. So let's go Raiders at Titans. This is actually the game that I'm going to slate down here as my game of the week. So I'm going to say Raiders at Titans. I think Marcus Mariota is going to take a big step this year, and I think these are going to be 2 MVP candidates week 1. I think that the Raiders are going to end up pulling this game out because I think the Raiders are just too good top to bottom. But once again, I expect both of these teams to be in the playoffs. Titans just barely, but I think Titans can definitely make a push for the playoffs this year. So I'm gonna take the Raiders 28-24. Very close game. I think it's gonna come down right to our. Jacob says, I think the Titans win by a field goal. Titans 41-34. Eric Berry out for the season. Yeah, that's a real shame. Like, that really stinks. I'm a big Eric Berry fan. I mean, who isn't, right? Who isn't a big Eric Berry fan? But yeah. So I'll basically cut over here to my face because every once in a while, it's a little weird staring at an Excel file. The next game that we're going to talk about is the Jaguars at the Texans. Now, I'm from UCF. I got the UCF right behind me. I love me some Blake Bortles. The Texans are a little vulnerable on defense if their pass rush doesn't get there, but the Jaguars have maybe the worst offensive line in football. I suspect we could see 2 sacks apiece between Jadeveon Clowney and J.J. Watt. So I'm in this game. I'm going to take Texans 24-3. I think it's going to be a blowout. They'll put up some points, maybe over some turnovers. Texans, I have no faith in Blake Bortles. Agreed. Ben says Texans 13-6. Yeah, it's going to be something like that. I say 24-3. I think it's a blowout, and we could see a change at the helm sooner rather than later. Next game up, Cardinals at the Lions. This is interesting. Carson Palmer could be on his last year. Same with Larry Fitz. Larry Fitzgerald is a big top draft pick in a lot of fantasy football drafts. Matt Stafford just got paid. So sometimes quarterbacks don't play as well right after they sign a big contract, and Carson Palmer might be coming out and playing well. The wide receivers there, John Brown, Jaron Brown, and Larry Fitzgerald, have been a little shaky, but something just tells me that the Cardinals are going to go in there. Matt Stafford, there's going to be the headlines all week. Did Matt Stafford deserve that money? I think the Cardinals are going to go in there, and I think they're going to win the game 21-10. Detroit, what is that? Detroit 1 billion to 0. That's a bit. Lions upset. I don't think that it would be an upset if the Lions won, personally. Tom Savage versus Blake Bortles. Interesting 6-3 game. I think Tom Savage is better than people give him credit for. Next game up, Steelers at the Browns. Now let me pan over here. Oh crap. Let me hit you guys with the screen share really quick, because this has something to do with my fantasy start of the week. Let me make sure I spelled his name correctly. Yeah, I did. Okay. I always forget where that hyphen is. I have Le'Veon Bell as my fantasy football start of the week. So we're talking daily fantasy. If you're playing daily fantasy, Le'Veon Bell is your guy to go to. We'll talk about that a little later, but I think it would be very hard to pick the Browns in this game. So I'm gonna go. The Browns will probably score some points just because Steelers are going to score so fast. But I think I'm going to take Steelers over Browns 31-10. I think that's going to be the final score in there. It'd be 31-9 with 3 field goals for all we know. I think Kaiser has 2 touchdowns. It's possible. 31-13, 34-17. Can my Bears upset the NFC champion Falcons? Well, that is the next game up. So let's talk about that. We know about the Super Bowl hangover that people talk about, and it has happened in the past. Could the Falcons end up losing one to the Bears? For my money, Mitchell Trubisky could play well this year, but I don't think it's enough to beat the Falcons, especially week 1. I think the Falcons are going to win this game pretty handily. The player to watch, well, first of all, let me put I think the Falcons are going to put up some points. I'm going to take the Falcons 35-24. Actually, I don't want to give the Bears that much credit. 35-14. Let's call that one. I think that the player to watch for the Bears and the player to pick up on some fantasy football leagues right now, if you need an extra spot, if you have an extra spot, maybe you made a trade, you get a spot open, you need to grab someone off the waiver wire, Tarik Cohen. He's going to be very good this year for the Bears. He's a rookie. Look him up. TarikCohen. Tarik Cohen. He's a guy to own from the Bears. I think Bears upset of the week. Falcons always do bad early in the season. I hope they take Glennon out for Trubisky. Yeah, I mean, I don't trust Glennon to beat the Falcons, and if they put Trubisky in, it's too soon. That's the – what is the worst? What is worse, the Jets roster or this BB season? I think the Jets roster is worse. That's saying a lot. Gerber says, I drafted Zeke in the fantasy league. Yes, good pick. Good pick. We'll talk about that in a little bit. When we get to the Cowboys game, we'll talk about it. So Ravens at Bengals is up next. Good old divisional matchup. Going to be smash mouth. Personally, I think Andy Dalton, people are they're really counting Andy Dalton out. I think that the Bengals take this in a very close game. I'm going to say 27-24. Bengals are going to win it with a field goal at the end. I think Andy Dalton is going to play well. Ravens do have a very good defense, but they're still young. I think Andy Dalton's experience can get some points on the board. And I hope Joe Mixon plays well. Ravens 24-14. Eddie Jackson also a safety. Yeah, my running backs are terrible in our league. Jacob says I picked the Bengals too. Yeah, I think the Bengals are going to do better than a lot of people give them credit for. They do well in the regular season. Just can they win a playoff game, right? Colts at the Rams. So that's it for the 1 o'clock games on Sunday. So this is also the place to go to if you're not sure when teams are playing or whatever. If you just hop in here and just click when we're on the when I'm on the Excel sheet, and boom, you can see the start times. I'm going to try to list them as well. Colts at Rams, and Andrew Luck is not playing in this game, so we're seeing what? Who the hell is starting for the Colts? Don't tell me it's still what's his face from last year. Scott Tolzien, great. So we're seeing a Scott Tolzien versus Jared Goff face-off. We're going to talk about this a little bit during fantasy time, but I'm taking the Rams in this. I just don't trust Scott Tolzien. I don't think they can put up points. I'm going to take the Rams in a barn burner, 17-0. I don't think the Colts are going to score a point. Jacoby Brissett, hopefully. Yeah, and also, Aaron Donald's not playing, but still, I just don't know how. I don't know how the Colts win that game. I don't even know how they put up points. Usually I don't predict a 0-point game. They might get a field goal, but going ballsy, 17-0. Panthers at 49ers. 49ers, once again, have a terrible roster. I think the Panthers are bouncing back this year. I think Cam Newton's going to return to form from his MVP season. I'm going to take the Panthers in this game 24-14. 49ers 24-17, upset of the week. It's possible. It's possible. I mean, the Chiefs was definitely an upset, but everyone knew Chiefs were going to have an explosive offense. Redskins beating Eagles, I would say that would be an upset. Titans over Raiders is an upset pick. Jags could theoretically beat the Texans, I guess. Bengals at Ravens, I think, would be considered an upset in a lot of people's minds. Here's a really, really tough game to pick, guys. The Seahawks are facing the Packers in Green Bay, but the Packers never play the Seahawks. The Packers never seem to play the Seahawks well. Seahawks always seem to do something that just throws them off. I think this is a battle of two MVP candidates this year. Russell Wilson looked great in the preseason. He'd slimmed down. I believe they said he slimmed down about 15 pounds. He's quicker, more agile. But Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. And I think it's going to be Seahawks. And this really hurts me to predict because, I mean, my Patriots already lost. Rick's an Eagles fan, and Charlie is a Packers fan. I'm going against both of their teams, and I hate to do it, but I think the Seahawks are just very good. I'm going to take the Seahawks. This could be game of the week, but I'm going to take the Seahawks 35-28, or actually 35-27. That's where we're going to go. Robert asked, do you think that Kaepernick should be on a team now? Yeah, I think he should. I think that the issue, I believe, with Colin Kaepernick, with a lot of the team owners, is that he's not. This is what they think, is that he's not worth the risk to put on his team, to have him on their team, unless he is their starter, and he's not going to be a starter on many teams. He could probably be a starter on the Jets or the Colts right now if they would have signed him over Scott Tolzien. Absolutely. Ben says on Tuesdays, will you look back on your picks? Maybe, but I do teach, and Tuesdays are going to be really rough for me coming up because I'm starting to teach a musical. So, yeah, Jacob says Kaepernick's not good enough for the drama he brings. Agreed, but the thing is, I think he's put it all behind him, and there are a lot of other players protesting now. So it is a little different. I think that he is – Ben says he's a below-average quarterback, but he's a media circus. I don't think he's below average, honestly. He would be a below-average starter, but I think he would be a decent backup in the league. I think it would be in the upper half of the backups in the league. So that would put him in, 32? So that would put him in the top 48 quarterbacks in the league. I think he's one of the best 48 quarterbacks in the league by far. So I don't know. I don't see why he's not on a team, and it's not because he's not holding out for money. So I don't know. But so the next up, we have the Sunday night game, Giants at Cowboys. Always exciting. Flamer, yes, I forgot to mention it. 800 subs, guys. Thank you so much. And we're also very close to 100,000 views. So hey, if Irma takes me out, I'll rest easy knowing that we hit 800 subs and 100,000 views, because we'll hit that eventually. So the Sunday night game is the Giants at the Cowboys. I think this is going to be a high-scoring affair. Giants offense looks like it should be much better. Ezekiel Elliott's suspension has kind of been put on hold. We saw this with Tom Brady 2 years ago, where he was suspended and then the court ruled to overturn the suspension, but then they went through a whole legal battle for the entire year, and then the suspension got brought to a higher court, and they ruled that basically Roger Goodell can do whatever he wants. So that same thing is probably going to happen with Zeke, and he'll serve a suspension next year or maybe later on this season. But right now Zeke's playing, so I think Ezekiel Elliott is going to dominate this game along with Dez Bryant. And over on the Giants side, I think that Eli Manning is going to tear it up. Odell Beckham and another weapon, which I'll talk about in the fantasy football, because I have him starting in all my daily fantasy leagues. But I'm going to go for the sheer fact that if they get a lead, they have a better opportunity to close it out. I'm going to go with the Cowboys in this game 31-28. I think it's going to be a close game. But Ezekiel Elliott better than Paul Perkins to close out the game. That's just how it is. I think they get those first downs at the end of the game and not give the Giants the ball back. It's either going to be a Pats versus Cowboys Super Bowl or Pats versus Vikings. Huge Vikings fan. Hey, I like that, man. Do you have school this week? We're off in Tampa Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, same thing here. We're off through Tuesday, and then they're going to reevaluate it. Giants defense is top 3. They have some holes. Giants is kind of odd because they have some people that are really vulnerable, but they also have some really great playmakers. So it all depends on how well the Cowboys can game plan. We have them, and then we have the last 2 games. Both are Monday night. So for those of you that like having 2 Monday night games, hey, I don't have school Tuesday, so the hope is that I have power on Monday night. Probably won't, but we have Saints at Vikings at 7:10 kickoff. Flamer says Pack versus New England. That's what Charlie and I have been rooting for years. It almost happened, and then the Seahawks got that crazy Hail Mary and 2-point conversion a couple years ago, so that was rough. Since we've been friends, we're like, oh my God, this could be the year, Packers and Patriots. So Saints at Vikings. This is an interesting game. Sam Bradford played really well last year. Can he keep it up for this year is the question. The big thing is how will Dalvin Cook play? What kind of a role is Adrian Peterson going to have in the Saints offense? They've got 3 really good running backs. I don't want to say great, but 3 really good running backs. They've got Mark Ingram, they've got Adrian Peterson, and they've got Alvin Kamara on the Saints offense. The Vikings have got Dalvin Cook and Latavius Murray. You've got 5 starting caliber running backs out of these 2 teams. And I don't know, with Willie Snead out, suspended for the Saints, I'm actually going to take the Vikings in this game. I think Sam Bradford is going to play well. Adam Thielen, out of all people, has been playing really well this year. I think I'm going to take the Vikings in this game. I'll say 17-14. It's going to be one of those games that's going to be interesting. Drew Brees, though, I'm going to say he just can't figure it out. They're going to say they really miss Brandon Cooks. So Chargers at Broncos for the late start, 10:20 p.m. These are all Eastern time, but 10:20 p.m. Chargers at Broncos. This is the Chargers' year, man. Chargers are going to win this division. I'm telling you guys right now, week 1, Chargers are going to win this division. I think they're going to make a statement. I think they're going to go out and beat the Broncos 31-14. Even though the Broncos defense, I know they're really good, but I think Phillip Rivers puts on a show out there. So there's my predictions for all the teams. Screenshot it. I'll go through here later on in the week. Even if I don't do a recap throughout the week, let's say next Saturday, I will definitely have all of the things either green or red based on if I got them correct, and I'll keep an overall tally. That way you can guys laugh at me for what I get right and what I get wrong. All right. Duke Revolt, Chargers 24-13. Vikings will win. They have one of the best defenses and cornerback in the NFL, and their offense isn't bad. Dalvin has Zeke potential. I agree. But their line doesn't have Cowboys line. Sorry, had to step away. Are you looking at the matchups in the league and guess who wins? I might as well, right? Gerber said the Chargers will make the playoffs, maybe Super Bowl. They're my sleeper team this year. I think Chargers are going to be good. What do you mean check chat, you vegan? Go away, Garrett. I am checking chat. I'm reading chat. The hell are you talking about? All right. So let's move into fantasy football. That might as well be the first thing I do. And normally I'd pull up the standings for the season, but right now the standings officially are the Chiefs 1-0, the Patriots 0-1, and the rest of the NFL 0-0. So the Patriots are officially last in the NFL. Be a hell of a comeback story. I can't remember the last great Patriots comeback. So, honestly, Patriots could finish the season 28-3. So let's go to fantasy. Am I not logged in? There we go. All right. So let me screen share this. That way we can all laugh at me because I'm at a great start. application window, boom, my team. So this is how we've started out. I'm losing this week 40.6-0 because Macho Madness Russell. You are oh dude, look, Charlie messaged me. All right. Hold on. I'll read that on another screen. So Kareem Hunt put up 40 points on me. Hey, I love Kareem Hunt, but I didn't realize I was facing him, but I was sad. So Cam Newton, Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette. I still like my team. It's hard to come back from a 40-point deficit. And I'm trying to look at who I think is going to play well for him. Like I said, Russell Wilson's going to play well. I think Christian McCaffrey is going to have a good week. I think Melvin Gordon's going to have a good week. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Devontae Parker is not playing because screw you, Irma. That's why. So anyway, let me see what Charlie says. They said, you still on and live? Of course I'm on and live. Sorry I had to break the news to you, but you're going to lose. Hey, it is what it is. About page still not fixed. I guess I got to fix it then. On YouTube? I don't know, Garrett. Maybe if you'd watched the whole stream. I already talked about the Kansas City Patriots game for a while. I chose Kansas City for my defense, and Eric Berry's out for the season. You can go pick up a new defense. Defenses don't matter in fantasy. We'll talk about that a little bit. So let's move on to daily fantasy. Those that have not played daily fantasy, I'll explain to you how it works right here. So this, for example, is what your screen will look like. Over here, I have my lineup. This is the lineup that I've submitted for a lot of different things. So the way it works, I'll clear all this right now. So you have $60,000, and each player has their own salary, and this is based on what FanDuel thinks the projection is going to be. So David Johnson right now is projected to be the highest scoring player, so he's the most expensive right now. So he's the most valuable player in fantasy right now. We all know David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell were the top two picks in pretty much every fantasy draft. So when I want to make a lineup, the first thing that I personally do, there are a lot of different strategies. The first thing that I do is I think about matchups. So first of all, I go through and I look at the matchups, and I click on something like this. So if I click on Eli Manning, which you guys can sign up for FanDuel.com, you can win actual money. It's great. So the first thing you want to do is look at the matchup over here at the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys defense right now is ranked number 1 in the league versus the rush. This was last year's stats. So, and, a lot of times the defenses don't have too much of a change. So last year they were ranked number 1 versus the run and 26 versus the pass. Now, this is interesting because that means let's assume, Paul Perkins, he's not really that proven. Let's say he starts getting stuffed. All of a sudden, Eli Manning has to throw a lot. And it's fantasy, so it's not about who's going to win the game or not. The Giants could get blown out. I think the Cowboys' offense is also going to put up some points. So the Giants are going to have to throw a lot. So that's why I love picking a quarterback, and I love picking another person to go with them. I could pick Odell Beckham Jr., but, he's got a little bit of an ankle issue. So I hate playing people that might have injury concerns. And he's also expensive. He's $8,800 for me to play. I've heard that they love getting Evan Ingram involved. So right now they list him second on their depth chart, blah, 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 blah. I think Evan Ingram's going to be involved, and you got to take some risks in fantasy in order to succeed. So that's the reason why you see Evan Ingram, and he's only $4,900, which saves up salary because you have $60,000 total to spend on people, right? So right here, I only have 100 remaining. The goal is to get as close to zero as you can. Try to get as many solid players as you can. So if you can find these budget players for $4,900 down here, that gives you extra money to spend on some bigger players, some more consistent players, really. Hold on, Charlie messaged me. Sweet, Charlie said he's going to hop in. I don't think Charlie's ever played fantasy. So let me go to chat, see if you guys have any questions for me. Giants getting blown, classy. Yeah. So by the way, if you guys have never played daily fantasy football, ask me questions right now. That way I can break it down, because I'm not going to break it down every week. So there we go. So we're over here. Devonta Freeman, once again, let's just go look at the matchups. Last year, Chicago Bears were 7th in the league against the pass. That's why it's in red. That means they're pretty good defending the pass, but terrible against the run. Meaning, I think Devonta Freeman, he's going to eat. He's going to go eat that soup. So I think Devonta Freeman's going to do well, and I think Atlanta's going to put up some points, which was echoed when I made my prediction, said the Falcons were going to win 35-14. Le'Veon Bell, I already said this is going to be the play of the week, guys. There are 32 teams in the league, and the Browns were ranked 31 versus the rush and 31 overall out of 32. They were the second worst defense in the league last year. They are a little improved, but also the two players that I've heard on the Browns that are playing well this year through the preseason and in practice are Jabril Peppers, the safety from Michigan, and Myles Garrett, the defensive end, both rookies. And Myles Garrett is actually dealing with a bit of an injury, so Myles Garrett will not be playing. So the pass rush and defensive line is going to be a little weaker. I think Le'Veon Bell is going to go off.
Solid.
Yo, what up, Chaz?
Nothing much, bro. How's it going?
I'm just breaking down my fantasy team. So far I was talking about I got Eli Manning and Evan Ingram going against Dallas. I think they're gonna do well. Devonta Freeman against Chicago because Chicago's terrible. Le'Veon Bell against Cleveland. You could agree that you think he's going to do well, right?
Yeah, true. FanDuel the same salary as DraftKings?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right. I did one of the free or the dollar ones. Figured I'd.
Yeah, that's what I did. I entered a free one and I entered a dollar one.
Yep. So let me see what I got here. Enter entry.
Also, if you guys are going to, if you look at my screen, this message up here, the NFL has officially postponed Tampa Bay at Miami. These players are updated, are uploaded earlier in the week. So, for instance, if you go to running back, Jay Ajayi is still listed on running backs. He will get 0 points. Don't start him. Or anyone. Don't start Mike Evans because he's going to be up here too. You can't start those guys.
So I believe I'm running the same thing. You quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, and flex and defense.
Is there a free one on apps? I mean, they have free tournaments and stuff, but honestly, I mean, you can scrounge up like $25 and just play like $1 or $2 a week.
Right? Yeah, I just did a $10 deposit. I figure if I can't do it 10
that's what I do. Usually I even out. I'll win some, lose some. So, and like I entered $1 and I can win $5,000 if I get the number one spot. So why not?
Okay, so our quarterback amounts are a little different here. Yeah, a lot different actually. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, you have Eli Manning for 7,300. He's 50 or 6,000 on mine.
He's 6,000 on your. Okay, well, what's your max draft salary? Either way, they're still going to be in about the same order. So you can probably get a lineup similar to mine.
So I put Big Ben at quarterback.
Okay.
He's a torch.
He's facing the Browns.
Yeah, and he's got so many weapons. And then my two running backs, I did Crowell and Todd Gurley.
Okay.
Crowell was very cheap, and you'll see why I went cheap on one position. And Todd Gurley's facing Indianapolis.
Okay.
They have a really weak defense. So
I already predicted the Rams to win that game 17-0. So.
And then receivers, I'm rolling Dez Bryant.
It's a good pick.
Sammy Watkins again for the Colts. They have Vontae Davis as their only corner, and I believe he's hurt. So.
Yeah.
And then Kevin White, value pick 4,200.
Oh. Okay, hey, he's the number one wide receiver. Kevin White could be good.
Yep, exactly. So that's one of those you never know.
But do you trust Mike Glennon? Is the question.
Maybe.
So who are your superstars?
The big money guys are Dez was a lot. Ben Roethlisberger's a lot compared to the other quarterbacks.
I mean, I was just telling the guys, if you look though, Cleveland last year, they were better against the pass than they were against the rush. They're not necessarily better. They're not necessarily a good defense.
Yeah.
But then again, if there is a safe pick against Cleveland, it would be a quarterback.
Yeah,
like
he's our points must be different, but that's all right.
yeah.
I went Martellus Bennett at tight end. Michael Crabtree at the flex for.
Hold on, So I've also got Des Bryant. So Des Bryant's facing, once again, Giants defense. They're a good defense, but look, they were number 3 against the rush. So Zeke could eat, but they're going to be susceptible to the pass. So I'm taking Des in that. And then, so I saw someone say Amari Cooper bad pick. Look at this. Tennessee Titans last year, number 2 against the rush, number 30 against the pass. And I think Derek Carr is going to be a man possessed this year. I think Amari Cooper is a solid pick. Solid.
The same reason why I put Crabtree as my flex.
Yep. So
good value there, and it's just whoever gets that touchdown.
Someone said AJ Green over Amari Cooper. That is too expensive, sir. AJ Green is 8,400 and Amari Cooper is 7,600.
It looks like your values are much higher than mine.
You can't just pick whoever you want with fantasy. Otherwise, people would just take the number 1 listed guy on their whole thing. Like I said, you got to go with some value picks. So you can't just mix and match who you want. You'll end up being over the salary. I only got 100 left. So theoretically, I could get rid of if I wanted to get rid of Amari Cooper, the only person I could upgrade to is Jordy Nelson. So still going over here, a guy I've heard about all offseason, Cooper Kupp. I don't even like Cooper Kupp that much, but he's facing the Colts. And Cooper Kupp, from what I've heard, is Jared Goff's security blanket, so he will be getting some catches. So he'll have a shot. And the Colts defense is terrible. 30th overall, 27th against the pass, 25 against the rush. And then Justin Tucker, Baltimore and Cincinnati, we know that's going to be a slugfest. So he's going to put up some field goals. And the Steelers defense because they're playing Cleveland. Name one corner on Tennessee. Is Devin McCourty still, or the other McCourty, Jason McCourty still?
On the Browns.
Let me look it up. They draft anyone? I feel like if their corners are really that bad, they probably drafted someone cool. Let me see. LaShawn Sims and Logan Ryan. Dude, Logan Ryan is a beast. And they drafted Adoree Jackson. Logan Ryan, Adoree Jackson. Put those across. Beasts. Colts are the best team in the league, vegan. Yeah, I predict them to get 0 points, Garrett. You're playing Scott Tolzien. Have fun.
That's true.
But anyway, Charlie, let me get your predictions really quick. I'll screen share on here. You don't have to give me scores and everything, but because I'm probably not going to write them down. But by all means, throw me your picks. All right, Jets versus Bills.
Hold on, I did my pick 'em. I'll just read it off.
There you go.
Let's see. Fantasy home. Pigskin pick'em. All right. I did Bears over Falcons. Bills.
Hold on. Gerber says, look at Kelvin Benjamin. The only good 49ers cornerback is 6 inches shorter. Kelvin and not as strong and has a lot smaller hands. Yeah, I think Kelvin Benjamin's going to do well this year.
So I did the Bears over the Falcons.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know.
Whatever. Keep going.
Bills over the Jets.
Okay.
Ravens over Bengals. Steelers over Browns. Lions over Cardinals. Raiders over Titans. Buccaneers aren't playing. Eagles over Redskins. Jaguars over Texans. Colts over the Rams. I'm actually going to change that now. Rams over Colts because Andrew Luck. Packers over Seahawks. Panthers over 49ers. Cowboys over Giants. Vikings over Saints. And Broncos over Chargers.
So we differed a little bit. I've got the ones we matched on. Let me see. I've got Bills, Raiders, Steelers, Ram. Did you take Rams or Colts?
I had Colts originally, but I just took Rams.
Okay. So Bills, Raiders, the ones that I differed from you on, I took Redskins over Eagles, Texans over Jaguars, Cardinals over Lions, Falcons over Bears, Bengals over Ravens, Seahawks over Packers. Sorry. Did you take Saints or Vikings?
Vikings.
So did I. And I took Chargers over Broncos. This Chargers year, bro. They're winning the Super Bowl. It's gonna be Chargers Steelers in the Super Bowl. Predicting Colts beat Pat in the AFC Championship game 42-10. Yeah, the only way they're able to do that is with deflated footballs because they're cheaters. So
fact.
All right.
Stuff.
Anyway, so Charlie, really quick, what'd you think about Chiefs beating the Patriots?
I think the Patriots defense just needs some work. They looked very unorganized. I think that's the best way to put it. And the Chiefs' offense looked very explosive. So you put those together, and you're getting 42 points put on you.
Are you panicking, bro? Is it time to start Garoppolo?
Jeez, no.
Is there any way the Patriots win more than 7 games now?
I think they just need to get a good week of practice. Honestly.
Yeah, with like the updated people that are, now that they know what they have with injuries. Marsh did not look good.
Marsh is not a linebacker.
Yeah.
He puts his hand in the dirt. Let him pass rush for you.
Agreed. So what game are you most looking forward to other than Packers Seahawks for the weekend? Is there a game
that the Jaguars, man?
Jaguars Texans?
Yep. I want to see Bortles. I want to see if Donald Payne gets playing time on defense.
I really wanted to take the Jaguars.
I want to see those corners.
We finally get to see Jadeveon Clowney and J.J. Watt lining up with each other at the same time on the field against the Jaguars' offensive line. Do you really? Blake Bortles was the most sacked quarterback in history over a 2-year span last year and the year before.
Yeah.
And the Texans have the best offensive line duo in the league. So
true. If there's one hope I have, I don't lose power during the Packers game. That's a legit hope, right?
Yeah, I mean, where you're living, I think they said you're projected to get like 60-mile-an-hour winds. That's not too bad.
And if we had DirecTV, it wouldn't be good. We'd lose it with a sprinkle.
Dude, come on! I'm trying to get a sponsorship here. Well, DirecTV, what's up?
Yeah, true.
All right. Anyway, I'm gonna go chill out. I have the Bliss water. You ever drink this, Charlie? This stuff's real good, dude.
I'm gonna go finish the Ohio State game.
Good. Vegan, gluten-free, lactose-free.
Hey, vegan is what we are all about.
Like, how do you not support that, dude? Come on, camera. Focus in. There we go. There it is, man. Vitamin D, vegan. I give chicks the vitamin D.
That's how it's done.
All right. So anyway, that'll do it for this episode. We'll see you guys next week. And oh wait, hold on, man. I forgot to I showed you guys my matchup. We gotta go check on Charlie and go check on the other matchups now, man. Right now, Gerber Twins is up 9-0 on I Will Make You Victim Noise. Evan 28-3 is beating Bucks fan. Charlie is currently beating Oz because you had Tyreek Hill, smart man. The Las Vegas Ballers are currently beating Baller Club. And the Eagles are currently beating Inglorious Staffords 9-4. So
there you go.
All right. Should be an interesting week of football. Hopefully I get to watch some of it. And whatever, I'm off school till at least Tuesday. Let's hope I'm alive. If not, thanks for the 800 subs. Thanks for the almost 100,000. And Charlie will keep it going in my memory. I'll see if this tree next to my house blows through my window. All right.
I hope it doesn't.
All right. Catch you guys next time. Tweet at me.
Peace.